As a byproduct of your ascension after meeting your twin flame, you're going to experience many physical and metaphysical symptoms, and definitely the ultimate, which is purely spiritual. Now, how can that be? Well, it's because you and your twin flame are the same spirit. You are the same soul. There's a lot of different information on the internet about twin flames as far as what to do. Why did I meet them? Lots of different opinions. And that's great. Sort of. I'm glad to see such a vigorous conversation. The part that's not great is it's confusing. But the one thing everybody agrees on across the board, no matter what their opinion is about what you should do to shut down the suffering, the running and the chasing, right? No matter what they say about those things, the one thing everybody agrees on is that it's one soul in two bodies, you and your twin flame, right? Just stop and think about that for a second. Just stop right there. You've been looking for answers on the internet for a while. What are the signs? What are the stages? Why do they run? What do I do? Right? Everybody's got a different opinion, but everywhere you turn, the one thing everybody agrees on is that it's one soul in two bodies, or it's like the soul splits, or you're the same soul vibration, or something like that. Let that sink in for a second. Everybody says that. That's good. Now, when we understand what twin flames are, do you think maybe we could figure out what the truth is about all the rest of that stuff, like what to do, what's going to happen, which is kind of what this video is about, right? The ascension symptoms. If we know for sure what this is, let's just look rationally. Okay, so your body, mind, soul, right? Right, you are simultaneous incarnations of the same soul. This is the year 1770, the year 1880. This is you and your twin flame, and this is a future reincarnation. This is your higher self in what they call heaven, right? The energy part of the universe. That's all this is. We already know this stuff. Reincarnation. Yeah, the soul incarnates. It does that. Very interesting. So, what are the symptoms? Well, first, the obsessive thinking. Oh, damn. Oh, my damn. The obsessive thinking. Wow. You want to talk about a dead giveaway? Have you ever experienced such a thing? I mean, I've come across people who said, yeah, I've had intense ruminating thoughts about a person before, but here's the thing, Kurt, not like this. Right. The obsessive thinking, the acting desperate. Have you ever reacted this way over a breakup before? And here's the thing about the obsessive thinking that's so weird. It's like it's happening to you. It's off the charts. You can't turn it off. I couldn't sleep at night because my mind would not shut down. That's never happened before, and it was just off the charts. I've never experienced anything like that before, ever. It's like it's happening to you. Whew. Now, that's metaphysical. There's a reason that's happening. Remember, this person is another incarnation of your soul. It triggers the breakdown of the ego mind. Remember, body, mind, soul. What is a spiritual awakening? The breakdown of the ego mind. And when things break down, when things die, it hurts. It's dramatic. Yeah, there's all this obsessive thinking. Very interesting. Sign number 2. I call it the weird energy shit. The weird energy shit, right? Like Kundalini. Now, when we think of Kundalini risings, we usually think of like a very intense all at once kind of thing. You feel the energy moving from your tailbone through your spine and then out through your crown. And it happens usually pretty quickly, like within an hour or so. And you feel like euphoric too. Or it's a very slow Kundalini rising. See, the consciousness is exploding your soul. You met your soul in another body. It's time. That consciousness is just increasing like a rocket. Right. And I see it every day, guys. I'm the world's leading twin flame coach. I've coached 6,000 twin flames to date, personally, through my paid coaching program. That's a lot of people. People hear what I have to say about twin flames and they go, wait a minute, that makes sense. Yeah, there is a way to explain this. There absolutely is. And again, I appreciate the fervent conversation on the internet about twin flames. I know everybody's just trying to figure it all out, but usually it's just somebody kind of saying what they think is going on. And then I'm over here going, guys, we already know this stuff. The soul is consciousness. So your consciousness is increasing. Yeah, the metaphysical astral body, the mind, body, mind, soul, thoughts, emotions, metaphysical energy, chakras, right? That thing is coming back online. It's kind of like when your foot falls asleep. And then when you get up and walk around, you feel the tingles, right? That's kind of what's going on right now with your astral body, this energy body. And for me, it was a slow one. It wasn't an all-at-once Kundalini experience. This took place over probably 3 or 4 weeks, and I would feel this energy like rising up all the time. Not as intense as the all-at-once Kundalini awakening. And a lot of people, they have that kind too. But it was like the same intensity of energy, but then like stretched out over 3 weeks. So it was a bunch of little things where I felt the energy coming up through my body, like coursing through my body. And I would feel like weird, like energy, like pulling at me into the sky and shit like this. Like it was as if there was a big, huge rubber band attached to my entire torso and my head. And it was just like pulling at me. Like I could feel it. And then there were these heart activations where I felt this incredibly intense love. And of course, at the time, it was all directed at my twin flame. But it's not that exactly. That's just what you think it is. Like you believe it has something to do with the person. And that's not exactly true, somewhat true. It's what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to explain to you that it's you. This is all about you. And let's face it, your twin flame doesn't seem to be going through the things you're going through. I've made lots of videos about that too. You can go check them out on my playlist, The True Twin Flame Teachings, on this YouTube channel. It's called The True Twin Flame Teachings, and I've made videos about, what do they go through? And let's just be honest, they don't seem to go through the same things you do. and they don't. And my twin flame is permanently in my life. None of that shit happened to her. Maybe if your twin flame goes through that, okay, fine. But for everybody else, no. It doesn't seem to be something that happens to everybody. It's not a thing that is necessarily true to the twin flame journey. If it was, then everybody would experience it, right? So whatever it is, you feel this metaphysical energy. And then again, there's this period where I felt this extreme intense love in my heart, which is really just your heart chakra opening up. You're going to experience intuition which is the next sign. I'll get to that in a second. But the heart chakra is the central chakra. Think of the chakras as connection points that connect to your higher self, your soul. Basically, intuition is when the soul is communicating with you, the higher self. And the love is so intense that I felt in my heart that it's like, I thought, am I going to die from the intensity of love? It was so intense. It was so incredible. It was so intense that it was like, it didn't hurt, but I wanted to say, it's too much energy for my system to take it. I think it's going to overload me. Am I going to have a heart attack from this much love? How is this possible? Well, what's really going on is it's an activation. It's your metaphysical astral body coming online. It's like when you get up and start walking around after your foot's fallen asleep. This soul, so remember, body, mind, soul. The soul is consciousness. And that's where you and your twin flame are one. You are one. At the level of the soul, there's only one of you. You are your twin flame. You believe you are your mind, ego, personality, the thinker, the personality, the identity. I'm a mom, I'm a brother, I'm a lawyer, I'm a doctor, I'm a truck driver, I'm a cook, I'm a teacher, I'm a banker, I'm a cab driver, whatever, right? I've been to these places, I've done these things, I'm liberal, conservative, I'm this, I'm that. This is who I am. This is my identity, right? That's all thought and emotion, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's just what that is. This journey is a journey of remembrance. You are remembering that you are the soul, which is consciousness. You are a creator. That's what this is all about. It's to remind you that you're a creator. Now, consciousness is like a gas tank when it comes to the three-part triune being, body, mind, soul. The mind is the engine. So the fuel source of the engine is the consciousness. And when your consciousness is exploding, it causes the obsessive thinking. It causes the kundalini, right? The weird energy shit, as I call it, because there's all these different things going on metaphysically. Very interesting. This is your spiritual awakening. Your consciousness is exploding and you're remembering who you really are. You are the conscious presence which witnesses the mind. And the deeper you go, the more you start to recognize that you're having a direct impact on the world out there. You're a creator. That's why you see the numbers and everything. You're causing that. And all the synchronicities and stuff. Yeah, you're causing that. Very interesting. You're starting to see the connection between me and that out there. Yeah, that out there is really just you, ultimately. Okay, the next thing is this deep inner standing of all of the things that I've pretty much just explained to you up to this point. It's intuition. It's a knowing that something much, much bigger than just meeting this person is going on here. And yeah, maybe they have something to do with it. And yeah, it's true. You've been given information about them. Maybe you were told intuitively through this inner standing that you're going to be together or that they are your twin flame, for example. Right? But it's this knowing. It's like deja vu, where you have this knowing, this weird, eerie knowing that I've done this before. But how do I know that? Have I really done this before? Or with your twin flame, you have this knowing that they're your twin flame, or you're going to be together, or that your life is about to change in ways that you're not even able to describe. It's just this knowing. But how do I know this? Right. So there's two things going on at that time because they're coming from two places. There's the knowing, which carries information with it, and they call that intuition. And there's the mental questioning, the doubt of the knowing. One is coming from the soul, one is coming from the mind. There's the knowing of the soul, and with it comes this information, this understanding, this intuition, and there's the mental narrative questioning the knowing. It's not really you who is questioning the inner knowing, the intuition. It's your mind. You're not your mind. You just forgot that you are actually the inner knowing. That's who you are. And it's not mental. We believe we are the mind, the personality, ego. You think that it's you who is thinking. You just forgot who you are. This is a journey of remembrance. And by the way, when you embrace that instead of your physical twin flame person, that's when they come back. And I've shown people how to do that 6,000 times. Literally. And there's testimonials all over my YouTube channel. I even have a playlist of all the twin flame success stories videos that I've done. Because there's people on my YouTube channel all the time that have taken my coaching program and they're like, oh my God, it worked. And I think another thing that helps is I don't charge exorbitant prices, thousands of dollars. I don't charge money like that for my coaching. I even have payment plans. You can start for very little with one of my payment plans and you get a lot of stuff. I hook it up really big time for the price you pay. Okay, sign number 4, something I call the ups and downs. So let's say you actually try to detach from this person, and at some point you start to feel this like out of control emotional experience all the time. You feel good and euphoric at times, enlightened even, and then you crash and you feel like crap again and you can't figure out why. Now, over time, that does dwindle off if you don't resist it. That's something that I teach my students to do organically. You allow it to unfold. But you do, and you'll experience things emotionally, like out of nowhere. You might at times even have like a gripping sense of fear for no reason. And then you're like, wait, nothing is wrong. Why is there this weird fear? Right, well, it's just the ego. Again, ego death, dark night of the soul, same thing. It's just dissipating. The ego is dying, and it's trying to stay in control of you. And so it does that. It'll twist and turn and take you through all these loop-de-loops to try to stay in control of you. That's all it is. And actually, this is somewhat related to the weird energy shit, right? The Kundalini stuff. You'll notice these things, these experiences happening in cycles. You are leaving behind mind identification, duality, and returning to who you really are, non-duality consciousness. And it's energetic. You can't think your way there, and you don't need to. There's not really stages that you need to make sure you get through. And there are changes that take place, yeah, but you just allow them. You don't make sure to get through them. The mind wants to make sure. This is where you just remember who you are. And when you remember who you are, consciousness, the watcher, the witness of the mind, that's when these things just flow. And you go through the ups and downs organically. Very interesting. Okay, the 5th and final ascension symptom, samadhi or satori. One day, out of nowhere, the ego mind, it just completely vanishes for a while. And this can last anywhere from minutes to days. And you're in this deep state of nirvana. Now, I'm going to give you a movie to watch so you know what I'm talking about. It's called Samadhi, Samadhi. It's on YouTube. It's absolutely free. It's only an hour long. Samadhi. Watch part 1. Don't skip around, or else, if you watch part 2 or part 3 first, it won't really make sense to you. So watch part 1 first, Samadhi. And by the time you get through that whole movie, you're going to be like, I get it. And I'm going to go, cool. What is it that you get? And you're going to go, I don't know how to explain it. It's a knowing. Remember the inner standing too, right? Very interesting. It's beyond concept. It's beyond thought. You really can't explain it, but you can experience it. You are consciousness. You are the experiencer. Now, as always, I'm always telling you guys to read this book. Also, get started today. The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. You want to get your twin flame to come back? You want to shut down the running and chasing? You want to feel better? This is your friend. This is what you got to do, my friends. This is your spiritual awakening. That's all this is. And you just need to treat it that way. And if you do, whatever is going to happen with your twin flame, it's going to happen in perfect order. It's that simple. This is the best thing that's ever happened to you. And I know that sounds crazy. For a lot of you watching, you're in a lot of pain, you're confused, you don't know what to do, but I promise you it is. This is the first day of the rest of your life. You are consciousness. You are a creator. That's what this is all about. This is a remembrance of that. Your destiny awaits you. I hope I've given you something of value today. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you later.